Ask a question, Sarah?
Wow. The White House briefing. Sarah Huckabee Sanders filling in today for Sean Spicer. John Bussey's here, the associate editor of the Wall Street Journal. Thoughts?
Unusual. More ring fencing of the White House against the press.
What are they doing?
Yeah, they're attacking the press.
I know they need a foil.
Yeah, I think it's a desire to build a wall around the White House to limit inquiry into what they do, accountability, and you have a chance to criticize the press. Look, CNN ran a story. They retracted it
on their website.
On their website, right? They apologized for it.
And what they said was, because I want to make sure we get this right, what they said was that they didn't go through their procedures. It didn't make it through standards and practices, they said, and it didn't make it through editorial checking. Afterwards, 3 people resigned.
Right. And this is what you want to have happen, right? You want to have a news organization when they find that they got something, that didn't go through their process properly, they retract it and publicly state, we made a mistake.
It's like an example of how to do it.
It's how to do it.
If you make a mistake, Journalism 101 says you admit your mistake, you correct it immediately, and you take corrective action.
Yeah, and even more importantly, you have all those standards and you have all of those procedures and you have all those editors panels for the story to go through. And this one, for some reason, didn't go through that. They apologized. Scaramucci very graciously.
And this is what we're talking about, which is exactly what they want.
But I think what happened was that it gave her an opportunity to kind of seize on something and then extrapolate out to the press in general. That because this one instance, there was an error. Clearly, the entire press is wrong in its inquiry into activities of the White House and possible collusion between the Trump campaign and Russia. And again, it's this desire to build a ring fence around the White House to limit accountability, to limit inquiry, when in fact, the CNN example is precisely what should have happened. They did well. Scaramucci very graciously accepted their apology. The White House could actually learn something from the CNN example. When they get something wrong, being forthright, saying we got something wrong.
It depends on what your goal is. Yeah. News out of healthcare from the White House, not really any. Sarah Huckabee Sanders says the president is still very optimistic. I think this idea of optimism is one that were you one who was trying to get this changed, you would stick to it. You want to keep optimistic. Let's figure out a way. But there really isn't a lot of evidence that would lead you to a conclusion of optimism today, today.
That's right. I mean, where we are right now is Mitch McConnell saying we just need more time. He's trying to play 5-dimensional chess.
And he's very good at it.
He's excellent at it. And, he kind of smiled and laughed when he said, this is a complicated issue. It's going to take more time. You could sympathize with that. It is a complicated issue. I think what they were trying to do is reduce the 5 dimensions down to maybe 3-dimensional chess by doing it behind closed doors. And that may have backfired a bit.
Yeah.
Some of the senators are saying, look, I just don't understand it enough to be able to politically put my vote behind it. So you have senators who think it went way too far. It's going to hurt Medicaid enrollment in their states where they need it, like in Nevada. You have other senators like Rand Paul saying it didn't go far enough. We shouldn't be in the business. The United States shouldn't be in the business of subsidizing private insurance. So that's a pretty big spectrum that Mitch McConnell still has to galvanize into a vote, get 50 of them, get the bill across the.
And the other